Hello, and welcome to our webinar, Graphic Jam, Graphic Novels Book Buzz Part 1. I'm Sarah Hunter, editor for Graphic Novels and Books for Youth at Booklist. Before we begin, I'd like to go over some technical details. Links to today's slide presentation and title list were included in a reminder email you received from Zoom 1 hour ago. To download them, please open that email, scroll to the bottom, and click on the links located there. You can also download the slides and title list by typing the URLs on this screen into your web browser. If you have any trouble accessing materials, please contact us at webinars@booklistonline.com. The audience is in listen-only mode, but we welcome any questions you may have. On the bottom of your screen is a toolbar with a question for Q&A. If you have a question or need technical assistance, simply click Q&A and type your message into the box that appears. We will do our best to respond to all tech-related questions, and we'll pass along all other questions to today's panelists so they can follow up with you after the webinar. Booklist offers closed captioning on all webinars. To enable or disable captions on your screen, please look for and click the Captions icon on the toolbar mentioned earlier. From there, you can select Show or Hide Captions from the menu that appears. If you choose to enable subtitles, you can adjust the size of the captions at any time by selecting Caption Settings. And finally, Booklist expects all participants to maintain an atmosphere of respect and fairness. Anyone who violates this standard of behavior, including engaging in any form of harassment, may, at the discretion of the organizers, be immediately removed. Today, we have the pleasure of hearing from Jasmine Normal, Children's Education and Library Marketing Coordinator at Simon Schuster, John D'Esposito, Publishing Sales Manager at Viz Media, Jeffrey Lapid, Associate Sales Manager at MadCave Studios, and Katie Singh, Director of Sales Book Market at Oni Press. First, we'll hear from Jasmine Normal. Jasmine is the Children's Education and Library Marketing Coordinator at Simon & Schuster. She oversees all aspects of the Children's Award submission process and key influencer mailing. She lives in New Jersey, and her current favorite book is All the Noise at Once. Thanks for joining us, Jasmine.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I will be presenting our 2025 graphic novel books. Next slide, please. Let's start with our Little Simon graphic books. The 3 books you see here are all continuations in their respective series for grades K through 4. Fun adventures to explore in each series, leaving kids with hours of entertainment. Make sure you have a copy in your collection. The 12th installment of the exciting Dragon Kingdom of Renly graphic novel chapter book series, Restless Ruins. In the 6th installment of the action-packed Guardians of Horsa graphic novel series, The Wasted Wilderness, the Guardians venture into the wild realm, home to the legendary yearling. And Howl at the Moon, Liv's werepup friend sets out to transform into a werewolf in Book 5 of the spirited graphic novel chapter book series. Next slide, please. Continuing with fun adventures in the series, I present to you 3 more titles for grades 1 through 4. Paranormal Activity, Poppy the Pup-tective goes paw to paw with a poltergeist in this second silly book in a graphic chapter book series perfect for fans of investigators and Narwhal and Jelly. Game On, Cloud Puppy, part cloud, and all adorable, explores the immersive world of video games with her friends in the second book in a delightful graphic chapter book series. That's Narwhal and Jelly meets the amazing world of Gumball. And The Sneakiest in the World. Mutant Potato Rot and his friends team up for a super sneaky mission in this 3rd installment of this hilariously silly graphic chapter book series from the best-selling creator of Narwhal and Jelly books. Next slide, please. Our next 3 books are for grades 2 through 5 that are sure to be in high demand at your library. Story Spinners, written and illustrated by Cassandra Fetterman, follows 2 sisters who must put aside their differences to soothe their new baby sister with the best bedtime story ever. The Strange Sky, written and illustrated by Amy Marie Stadelman, brings the 4th book in the Page Prove It series. And The Expats 2, written and illustrated by Mark Tutuli, follows the super team as they try to thwart a conniving kitty's disastrous plan. Next slide, please. Now on to middle grade. The next 15 books are collection essentials. Barb vs. the Leech Queen, written and illustrated by Dan Abdo and Jason Patterson, is the 4th book in the Barb the Last Berserker series. Barb and Porkchop fight in a cutthroat competition filled with an action-packed and hilariously funny middle grade graphic novel, perfect for fans of How to Train Your Dragon and Dogman. Next slide, please. Prince and the Pauper, written by Stephanie Cook and illustrated by Whitney Gardner, brings a hilarious sequel about a sneaky raccoon family who live life in the trash lane. Pick up this funny middle grade book to learn more about how Dusty switches places with a pampered look-alike raccoon. Next slide, please. WizKid 2, A Tale of Disruption, written and illustrated by Tanya J. Scott, is the sequel in the WizKid series about a magical Cyclops cat that must use all of her wits to solve the mystery of a missing book-shaped friend. Next slide, please. Continuing with middle grade, we have Beetle and the Chimera Carnival. Beetle and the Chimera Carnival is a delightful sequel to the Stonewall honoring winning book Beetle and the Hollowbones. Written and illustrated by Eliza Lane, we follow Beetle and her friends in this new book attending a carnival full of dragons and magic, only to discover something sinister at play behind the scenes. Next slide, please. Next, we have Campers Beware, written and illustrated by Bob and Vicky Scott. Based on the beloved comic strip Bear With Me by Bob Scott, in this middle grade sequel, we get Molly and Bear going on a family camping trip. Molly is determined to make her dad see how wonderful Bear truly is. But when Bear accidentally attracts other wild bears to the family's cabin, that may be a bigger disaster that even Molly can fix. Next slide, please. Oddity Woods. Written and illustrated by Kay Duvall, based on the webcomic of the same name, this spooky graphic novel mystery follows a kid detective whose search for her missing father leads her into an eerily enchanted woods full of strange, otherworldly creatures. Next slide, please. Continuing, we have The Many Misfortunes of Eugenia Wang. Written and illustrated by Stan Yan, this hilarious and heartfelt debut graphic novel is about a girl born on a day considered unlucky in Chinese superstition. Eugenia starts to wonder if she really is cursed when she's troubled by the visions of doom set to occur on her 13th birthday. If you plan on attending ALA Annual, Stan Yan will be there participating in the graphic novel Children's Roundtable Comic Tea on Saturday. Next slide, please. Changing tunes, I bring you the next two books in the Cupcake Diaries graphic novel series. Be sure to grab books 7 and 8 for your library. Next slide, please. Continuing with great books to pick up, I also want to share that Space Case and Spy Ski School will be available for your collection soon. Visit stuartgibbsmissionwrite.com for writing tips/videos from the author. Next slide, please. New from Jessica Bagley, we have two books that both deal with the main characters struggling to fit in. On our left, we have Jazzy the Witch and Broom Doom, a charming book about a young witch who struggles to fit in. In a town full of witches, Jazzy doesn't want to fly, she wants to cycle. But will her new passion come between her and her best friend and possibly get her in big trouble? And on our right, Dear Jackie is a fun and relatable graphic novel about Jackie's plan to fit in with her new friends by writing herself a fake love letter. But when that plan backfires, Jackie wonders how she's going to get out of this. Next slide, please. Free Piano. Written and illustrated by our beloved Whitney Gardner, comes a big-hearted, touching, and spooky coming-of-age story about a young aspiring songwriter who forms a ghostly partnership with the pop star who haunts her second-hand piano. Next slide, please. For the final middle grade slide, I'm bringing you a new series called The Blood of Kings. Written by Matt McClush and illustrated by Glass House Graphics in Ontario, Orlando, The Blood of Kings is set in the same imagination from Matt's acclaimed Jack Blank series. His first middle grade graphic novel series is about a brave warrior that fights to protect his home from both threats from outside and within. Next slide, please. The next two are two teen graphic novels for 2025 you don't want to miss. The Nefarious Nights of Willowweep Manor, written by Shannon K. Garrity and illustrated by Christopher Baldwin, is a hilarious sequel to The Dire Days of Willowweep Manor. Haley must return to Willowweep to solve for the mystery behind her friend's vanishing. Next slide, please. A Bite of Pepper, written and illustrated by Balazs Lorenzi, is a young adult graphic novel about a skateboarding vampire falling for a human artist. In this lightly paranormal coming-of-age romance, perfect for fans of Squad by Maggie Takuda Hall and The Girl from the Sea, watch them combine their talents to create a skating brand. Next slide, please. Finally, please follow us on social media, request our e-galleys, and visit website simonschuster.net and thebookpantry.net for additional resources. Subscribe to our newsletter for monthly updates, and for banned book resources, visit booksbelong.com. Thank you so much.
So much, Jasmine. Next, we have John D'Esposito. John is the publishing sales manager at Viz Media, where he works with librarians and comic shop retailers to promote and celebrate Viz Media manga. He currently lives in San Francisco, California, and enjoys cooking, hiking, and horror films. Thanks for being here today, John.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here today at Booklist graphic novel webinar. We have a really exciting list for you this season, so I'm excited to dive in. On the next slide, we're beginning with The Climber. This comes from the creator of #Dracula. It's a stunning nature epic blending grit and beauty. A young loner's dare sparks a life-changing journey into free solo climbing Japan's highest peaks. Along the way, he finds adrenaline, freedom, and his true self. Fresh off an Eisner-nominated hit, this title has quickly become a fan favorite, becoming a surprise sales hit for us at Viz, which we couldn't be happier about. It's not only a personal favorite of mine, but a favorite of many in-house staff members as well. This one has formed just a really big connection to anyone I know who's read it, and I hope you'll have the same experience. It's rated Teen Plus and is available now. And on the next slide, you can take a look at some of the amazing artwork throughout the book. Really great details here, and just really brings the art of free solo climbing to life in a really beautiful way. Our next title on the next slide is Kill Blue. This is a comedic assassin adventure from the creators of Kuriko's Basketball. After our protagonist is bitten by a mysterious insect and becomes a teenager again, thus begins the greatest mission of his career. He just never thought it would take place back in school. This one is rated T for teen and is now available. On the next slide, you can see some of the really fun artwork throughout the series. For me, it's a real combination of films like 13 Going on 30 meets 21 Jump Street, in the way that we're reverting back to an older self in a different form, while also going undercover in a school. So lots of fun hijinks here to fans to get excited about. Next up is News Exorcist. This is an offbeat supernatural comedy featuring an earnest human boy and a gamer girl spirit. Gakuru has always seen spirits drawn to human pain, but meeting New, a quirky pop culture loving spirit, sparks his journey as the spirit exorcist. This one is really great for fans of titles like Jujutsu Kaisen, and we think gamers will really appreciate all the niche homage to video games made in the weapon designs and dialogue, and I just think that's really cool. This one's rated T for teen and will be on sale in early July. You can see on the next slide just some of the kind of more video game inspired artwork that you could expect to see throughout this series. I think it'll make for a really nice connection for fans to draw from manga to the video game world. And then next up is Tsumiki Ogami's Not So Ordinary Life. This is a heartwarming rom-com that follows Shai Yutaka, who dreams of becoming more confident until a fearless werewolf named Sumiki turns his world upside down. Like Komi Can Communicate, it's full of quirky characters, relatable social struggles, and tender humor, but with a supernatural twist that brings a new layer of charm to this sweet high school story. It's rated T for teen and will be available in July. On the next slide, you can see some of the great interiors, really bringing that werewolf meets human to life. And I think, like I compared it to, it's really similar to Komi Can't Communicate for any fans out there. but really with just a nice, fun twist to it that I think fans will really enjoy. Next up, we have Yaiba Samurai Legend. This comes from Goshu Ayama, the creator of Case Closed. It's a fast-paced sword-swinging adventure about a jungle-raised boy destined to become a true samurai. When his rival is transformed into a demon by a cursed blade, Yaiba must seek out his own enchanted sword and learn to master its power before it consumes him. Packed with humor, action, and classic shonen energy, this award-winning series is perfect for middle school readers and up, and a must-have for collections looking to blend timeless storytelling with high interest appeal. This one's rated T for teen and is available in July. On the next slide, you can see that because this is an older title that we are bringing into the English language for the first time in a really special way, you'll see that the artwork does have a bit of an older feel to it, which I think is a really great entry point for new manga fans and a really nice nostalgia piece for the older fans as well. Our next title is Tokyo Fear Rhapsody. Here, Hikiro is the mightiest monster around, created to strike terror into the collective hearts of humanity. But a chance encounter with ice cream turns him into an instant fan of human culture. Between rebelling against his overbearing creator and slaughtering ghoulish foes, Hikiro's got a lot more than just ice cream on his plate. This is like, I would say, a more slapstick version of Kaiju number 8 with perfect comedy timing and offbeat characters. It's sure to connect with fans of all ages. This title is rated Teen Plus and will be available in July. On the next slide, you could see, well, it does have some connective tissues to Kaiju number 8 in the storytelling. I think in terms of art and style, it can be similar to Chainsaw Man in a way. But all in all, it has a lot of heart and a lot of silliness to it. So excited for fans to have a look at this one. Our next title is Astro Royale. This comes from the creators of Tokyo Revengers. Astro Royale brings explosive, superpowered battles to the streets of Tokyo, this time with a Yakuza twist. When a meteor crash grants mysterious powers to the city's residents, Hiburo finds himself in a deadly battle royale against his own siblings for the control of the family empire. It's superpowered, comedic, and epic, perfect for fans who love high-energy action with emotional stakes. This one's rated T for teen and will be available in August. On the next slide, you can see some really great interiors. I think the artwork reminds me a lot of Jujutsu Kaisen, but because it is rated teen, it does age a bit younger. So for anyone looking for that title, but maybe folks think it's a bit too mature for them, I think this is a really great one to show them instead. Next up, we have Rai Rai Rai. This is a sci-fi action comedy packed with lovable, gross aliens and goofy humor. For our protagonist, it seems like things just can't get any worse, drowning in debt and surrounded by noisy neighbors until she's abducted by aliens and wakes up with a monstrous new arm and a foul-mouthed voice in her head. Now she battles deadly alien threats, all to pay her bills. This one's rated Teen Plus and will be available in August. On the next slide, you can see the interiors here, I think are really stylized. They remind me a lot of the artist Murakami. I think fans will really connect to this beautiful artwork in a special way, as it's also mixed with really great action and adventure as well. And our next title is The Art of Rumihiko Takahashi, colors 1978 through 2024. Here we celebrate the legendary career of Rumihiko Takahashi with this deluxe art book showcasing stunning artwork from Urusei, Hatsara, Ranma Half, Inuyasha, Rin-Yi, and Mao. Featuring full-color illustrations, commentary, and rare long-form interview with Takahashi herself, this beautifully crafted hardcover includes a holographic foil jacket and a ribbon bookmark. This is an essential collector's piece for fans and aspiring artists alike, and just a really great title to have on your shelf for the history of manga. Rumahiko Takahashi is considered one of the all-time greats, and this is a really great tool for anyone looking to dive into manga and explore the history of it. On the next page, you'll see some really great interiors where we're exploring some of the older artwork. This one will be rated T for teen in full color and available in September. Then next up, we have Nana, the 25th anniversary edition. Nana returns to its 25th anniversary, bringing the beloved story of two girls with the same name, one chasing love and the other chasing rock stardom, back to life in a gorgeous deluxe omnibus edition featuring stunning new cover art, 2 volumes in one, a large trim size, sprayed tartan, pattern edges, and a collector-friendly packaging. On the next slide, you'll see some really classic images from the Nana world. It has really received a really nice resurgence recently, thanks in part to Book Talk and just longtime fans really celebrating this title. So we're excited to bring it back for the 25th anniversary edition. It is rated M for mature and will be available in October. Our next title is Kamado. This comes from the artist behind the Legend of Zelda manga. It's an exciting new fantasy adventure set in a skybound paradise where demi-beings struggle with prophecy, identity, and rivalry. Follow our protagonist, a young boy with the hand of a dragon, as he trains in the ancient art of Raiken, navigating a world that both fears and questions his existence. On the next slide, you can see some really beautiful artwork. Maybe some of you can tell about its inspiration from the Legend of Zelda universe. This is one of the titles that we are most excited about our list for the upcoming season, and we hope fans will feel the same. It's rated T for teen and will be available in October. Then next up, we have Moan, a Junji Ito story collection. This is a new title from the horror manga master himself, Junji Ito. Here you can step into the blood-curdling world of Junji Ito with chilling new collection featuring grotesque phenomena, strange creatures, and unnerving obsession. This volume is a must-have for fans of Ito's eerie artistry, which you can see on the next slide. Some really haunting imagery work, classic of Junji Ito's style here. Lots for fans to get excited about. This one I've had a chance to read and is just as fun and just as haunting as his other work. And then my last title for the day is Kingdom. This is probably our most anticipated title for the fall season. We are so excited to be bringing this to shelves here in the US. The story here is from the humble beginnings in a poor village to battling political intrigue. Jin rises through the ranks of the army, determined to fulfill a destiny greater than anyone has ever imagined. This epic tale, blending grand warfare with even greater ambition, draws comparisons to the greatest Western fantasy sagas like Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. With over 110 million copies sold in Japan, multiple anime and live-action adaptations already, this is a must-read historical epic of our time, one that fans have been clamoring to see in English and that we're so excited to finally bring to your shelves this November. On the next slide, you can see some of the really great sort of epic imagery that you could come to expect in this series. This is one where anytime Viz has put out an announcement of sorts, sure enough, in the comment section, they were asking, but when is Kingdom coming? And we're finally happy to be bringing it out this year and hope fans connect with it in as big a way as we're expecting. And then that's all for me today. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the titles on our list and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. Next up, Jeffrey Lapid. Jeffrey is a publishing professional with over 10 years of experience working with comic books, graphic novels, and children's picture books. He lives in Los Angeles. The floor is yours, Jeffrey.
Cool. Hey. Hi, everybody. Thanks. My name's Jeffrey Lapid. I'm Associate Sales Manager for MadCave. We got a few titles to talk about today that are coming out this year. So let's get started. Next slide, please. First book we have for you is Endless Night by Mark London and Tom Derenick. MadCave has been around for about 11 years now, and in that time we've reached a lot of milestones, But Endless Night marks a new milestone for us. It's our very first comics crossover event series. So readers who've been following our titles closely over the past year, they will have noticed that plot points from the Underworld line of comics, Revolution 9, Hour of the Wolf, and Exit City, have been building up to something big, and it's all going to happen in this series, Endless Night. Next slide, please. CEO and co-founder of MadCave Studios, Mark London, and veteran artist Tom Derenick bring together a larger-than-life story where characters from the shadowy spy world of Revolution 9, the over-the-top and very weird world of monster hunters in Hour of the Wolf, and the seedy neo-noir Exit City come together with the fate of the universe at stake if they don't kill each other first. Next slide. The only thing bigger than the action is the high-intensity drama as the heroes of the underworld meet for the very first time. Also available in trade paperback are the 3 series that set up Underworld. Next slide. Revolution 9, Hour of the Wolf, and Exit City. These are all available now so that readers can get caught up in time for the release of the Endless Night collection that's coming in November. Next slide. Sunder, Volume 1. French-Canadian cartoonist Pierre-Alexandre Comtois makes his graphic novel debut with the sword and sorcery style fantasy Sunder. I've also just noticed that there's an error in the slide. Pierre is the author and artist. Mark Englert is the colorist for this, so sorry about that. Next slide, please. Sunder follows a hapless but good-hearted goat boy named Zeke who's come across a mysterious tome. Zeke sets off on a quest to return the book to its rightful owner. Unfortunately, what Zeke doesn't know is that this book holds the secret to a long-forgotten dark magic that could change the world. Even worse, a multitude of evil forces are lurking in the shadows, hoping to take the book for their own. Zeke must fight back and become the hero he was destined to be if he wants to survive. Next slide. So right off the bat, Sunder hits you with Pierre's really gorgeous art. He's got a background in illustration and animation, so the art in Sunder, it's really lush and lively, and I think it'll really draw readers into this epic fantasy world that he's created. Next slide, please. Popkill, our best-selling series of the year, gets a trade paperback collection in August. This is Popkill, and it's written by comics heavyweights Jimmy Palmiotti and Dave Johnson, along with art from veteran comics artist Juan Santa Cruz. Next slide, please. Imagine a world where the 2 dominant and competing cola companies, each worth billions, are owned by former conjoined twins who are now separated and have grown to hate each other so much they hire assassins, saboteurs, and espionage personnel to meddle with each other on a daily basis. Next slide. Popkill is a tongue-in-cheek satire about brotherly love run afoul, unchecked corporate power, and all the people that get caught up in the crossfire. I think about it as a comic that's in the vein of 2000 AD's Future Shocks, like Judge Dredd, Nemesis the Warlock, that kind of thing, and Howard Chaykin's American Flag series. And you can tell that Juan Santa Cruz is really kind of pulling from that Howard Chaykin bag of tricks there. Next slide, please. Later this year, we'll also be releasing the first volumes of re-releasing the first volumes of our 3 hottest licensed series as deluxe edition hardcovers. Next slide. Dick Tracy follows the iconic detective as he returns home from World War II and finds himself caught in the middle of a gang war. It's a tough-as-nails noir mystery, and it's unlike any Dick Tracy story you've ever seen. Next slide. Flash Gordon takes the classic space opera hero and adds a modern spin to his adventures, as well as his iconic supporting cast. It's the first volume of our epic Flash Gordon universe project, and it sets up a lot of exciting stuff that we've got planned for 2026. Next slide, please. Gotchaman is a fresh take on the classic 70s science ninja team. It was also known as Battle of the Planets in the US at the time. It's filled with giant monsters, intergalactic criminals, super cool mecha, and some fun new additions to the world of Gotchaman, like the all-new Gotchaman backup team. All of these deluxe edition hardcovers will reprint the first volume of the series, and they'll also include behind-the-scenes material like process sketches and interviews with the creators, as well as a gallery collecting all the really hard-to-find variant covers for these books. Next slide. Hot Blood. Next title is Hot Blood. The year is 1871, and the centaur Evander Rook finds himself at rock bottom, working for would-be robber baron Asa Langley, a human. As the unlikely pair get closer, romance and conspiracy run wild, and Rook finds himself caught up in Ace's ambitions as they are both forced to face the ghosts of their interwoven pasts. Next slide. Hot Blood began its life as a popular webcomic created by Toril Orlesky on Tumblr in what is the peak of Tumblr, 2013. Readers of the original Tumblr format will still find plenty of new things to find plenty of new things to enjoy, as this edition is fully redrawn, rescripted, and sharpened into a poetic, brutal, and unflinchingly queer reworking of the more traditional ideas of the Wild West. Next slide, please. This will be the first of 4 epic volumes that take aim at queering the Western cowboy comic, or further queering, depending on who you might ask. Hot Blood is a wicked romance at its core between 2 toxic individuals drawn together in a fantastical reinterpretation of the mythos and iconography of the Wild West. It's perfect for fans of things like House of Five Leaves and Pretty Deadly, fans of the music of Orville Peck. So it'll be a really fun one. Next slide, please. The Slasher's Apprentice. This one's one of my favorites from this year. It's by Justin Richards and Val Halverson. Halverson. Next slide, please. This is the story of a true crime podcaster who decides she's going to make a career pivot. She's going to track down the legendary slasher, the Hopton Valley Killer, and help him get back to the top of the most wanted list, all while learning the ropes of being a slasher herself. Next slide. It's a story of hustle culture and stan culture and how it can propel you to the dark side, and it's an interesting commentary on the ethical dilemmas of the true crime genre. But don't worry, it's also a straight-up slasher story, perfect for horror fans who love high tension and fun kills. Next slide. Next, we've got 3 books from our YA graphic novel imprint, Maverick. Next slide. The Last Session, Volume 2, re-rolled. Author Jasmine Walls and Dozer Draw's return for the long-awaited sequel to The Last Session with even more D&D adventure and IRL drama. Next slide, please. This volume features an all-new cast of characters. They haven't played in a while, as each of them have gone off on their own to become successful streamers, influencers, podcasters, and micro-celebrities in their own corners of the internet. But when their old games master gets in touch with them to let them know that the community center where they all first met and learned to play D&D is at risk of being torn down, they decide to get together for one last live-streamed session to raise funds to keep their beloved community center going. Next slide. Just like in the first volume, the action switches back and forth between the friend group and the in-game adventure. The IRL drama seeps into the in-game adventure, but the stakes are even higher this time around because it's also being live streamed for all the internet to see. The campaign they play is silly and goofy, the same way that any group of friends plays D&D, but the group dynamics are heartfelt and genuine, and as the story goes on, we learn more about how these close friends started to drift apart. The Last Session 2 is a really fun and entertaining graphic novel about staying connected to your true friends in a world where the internet gives us an illusion of connectivity while also making us feel more isolated than ever. Next slide. Next, we go from human connection and understanding to the kind of disconnection and misunderstanding of Shakespearean comedy. It's our new graphic novel, A Buzz, by Amy Chase and Stella Dia. Sparks and stingers will fly in this modern reimagining of Shakespeare's classic romantic comedy, Much Ado About Nothing. Next slide, please. Feuding seniors Ben and Beatrice drag half of Messina High into their never-ending arguments, making things difficult as budding sweethearts Hero and Claudia are asked to pick sides in the battle. All the while, the bad kids led by outcast DJ are plotting to capitalize on the chaos and rule the school for themselves. Next slide. In the tradition of teen classics like 10 Things I Hate About You and She's the Man, A Buzz brings some modern flavor to Much Ado About Nothing, bringing in a diverse cast of LGBTQ+ characters and the complicated politics of high school, while keeping with the fast-paced comedic wit of the beloved play. Buzz is going to be out in November. Next slide, please. The last Maverick title is Queen Kodiak, and it's the graphic novel debut of writer Christopher Greenslade. Next slide. Queen Kodiak centers on Joey Fox, an embattled 17-year-old and natural empath. After the recent death of her mother, Joey is sent to Alaska's Kodiak Island to live with the man who left them 10 years ago, her state trooper father. Next slide. On a walk through the forest one day, Joey befriends a giant bear cub. Unfortunately, this is the cub of Queen Kodiak, a colossal, supercharged Kodiak grizzly bear who survived from the Ice Age and who's been irreversibly enhanced by a mysterious geothermal energy pulsing in the unknown depths of an Alaskan ice cave. And although Queen Kodiak's been asleep for thousands of years, melting ice and the subsequent tectonic activity has disturbed her hibernation, and she's woken up to find her only cub missing. This is an American kaiju story about a giant grizzly bear tearing through the Pacific Northwest, but at its heart, it's about dealing with grief and the pain of loss. Next slide. The last three titles I have for you today are from our new manga imprint, Nakama Press. Next slide. Up first is the Chinese manga, or manhwa, The Architect's Epiphany, by brothers Chiho and Chi-Kit Kwang, the creators of Indigo, which was our very first Nakama Press title, and it's available now. Next slide. This book won the Silver Award and Best Character Design Award at the inaugural Hong Kong Comic Support Awards in 2022. We're really excited to be publishing in English for the first time. Next slide. The Architect's Epiphany is a dark fantasy quest that's as surprising as it is action-packed. It follows a band of misfits that uses the strange power of a magical guitar as they embark on a bloody post-apocalyptic adventure. It's basically the Six String Samurai meets Berserk, which I don't know about you, but that sounds awesome to me. It's a guy with a magic guitar on a quest to rebuild civilization by fighting evil and bringing light to the darkness. You know, what more do you need? It comes out in August, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it. Next slide. Next is another manhwa from writer and artist Linus Liu, Cat-Masked Boy. In 1970s Hong Kong, a mischievous and clever cat-masked boy ventures into the lawless Kowloon walled city to retrieve his lost report card before his mom finds out. Next slide. This one's one of my favorite Nakama Press releases so far. It's bizarre, it's got a rude and juvenile sense of humor, it's action-packed, it's simultaneously ridiculous, and it's heartfelt. Next slide. Cat-Masked Boy is the kind of perfect mix between Yoshito Usui's hilariously immature Shin-chan and the delightful haplessness of Inyo Asano's Goodnight Poon-Poon. I think it perfectly captures the ridiculousness of being a young kid in the big city, and it's going to really resonate with teen and adult readers. Next slide. Last title is Naraka Warrior Volume 1. Naraka Warrior is a searing supernatural cyberpunk thriller from Hong Kong-based creators Albert Ng and Jerry Cho. This manhwa fuses Buddhist eschatology with brutalist existential humor in a karmic underworld where justice is absolute and mercy is rare. Next slide. So this is a part courtroom drama, part afterlife adventure, and it's a wild ride through the choices that shape who we are. Next slide, please. With sharp twists and a heart-pounding race for redemption, it asks, what would you do if your soul were on the line? Next slide. That's all from me. Thank you to the Booklist team for having me, and thank you all for checking out our books. If you like any samples, preview PDFs, or if you've got any other questions, feel free to email me at the email address here. And to check out the full list of our titles, check out our website at madcavestudios.com. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
Thanks so much, Jeffrey. Finally, we'll hear from Katie Sains. Katie is the director of Sales Book Market at Oni Press. She began her publishing career in the marketing department of Flying Forge Comics, where she helped launch best-selling, critically acclaimed graphic novels such as Brenna Thumler's Sheets, Maya Kobe's Genderqueer, and Wendy Xu and Suzanne Walker's Mooncakes before joining the Oni Press team in 2020. When she's not sharing her love of great reads, she's most likely to be found hiking with her rambunctious pup or taking on a new DIY project. Take it away, Katie.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for having me today. As was mentioned, I'm the director of sales for the book market here at Oni Press. Oni has been around for over 25 years and we're the publisher behind so many of your graphic novel favorites. I know it was already mentioned Brenna Thumler's Sheets trilogy, Mooncakes, Scott Pilgrim, Genderqueer, and hundreds more. So we have a very packed presentation for you today with some titles that I think will quickly become some of your next favorites. So let's go ahead and get started. Next. First up today, we have Dracula's Brunch Club by debut creators Brian Gonzar and Keenan Gaba. Next. So Count Dracula has a brunch club that is world famous for its blood orange jelly donuts, which give Dracula and his fellow vampires the energy they need to live forever. Next. But when Transylvania experiences a very mysterious and highly suspect jelly donut shortage, Dracula's nemesis Constantine steals the brunch club, and Dracula has to find a new energy source before Constantine's sinister plans ruin everything humans and vampires have worked for. Next. This book has like all of the Halloween humor and heart, but without the horror. So it's perfect for kids who want to get in on that Halloween fun, but don't necessarily want to be scared. It's got this cozy jelly donut mystery in a very spooky little wrapper. Next. This is perfect for fans of Summer Vamp, Ham Helsing, Fake Blood, and books like that. And Brian Gonsar, the creator, will be with us at ALA. So if you're going to ALA, make sure to stop by the Oni booth, particularly on Sunday morning when we'll be having a donut brunch. Next. Our next title today is Indoor Kid by Kids Comics favorites Matt Haggerty and Lisa Dubois Thompson. Next. So Indoor Kid is perfect for the sporty and the not so sporty among us. So whether you're the star athlete or the bench warmer, you'll find a lot to love in Indoor Kid as it follows Arnie, who's a former video game Indoor Kid, as he discovers a magical medal that gives him superhuman sports powers and slam dunks him to popularity amongst his former bullies, the Brokenians. Next. So this book does deal with bullying, and once Arnie becomes popular, he has to decide if he wants to go along with his new friends, the popular kids, or if he wants to follow his old friends by not standing up for what he believes is true. Next. So one of the great themes in this book is embracing your own strengths. Kids will read and discover that it's not just one thing that makes a person cool, and using your own strengths can be the best move in your playbook. Next. This one is perfect for fans of Roller Girl, Chunky, The Academy, Fantasy Sports, and the Tryout series. And Matt Haggerty will also be joining us at ALA. Next. Our next title today is Agent Cupcake by Katie Longwa, Mel Hilario, and Lauren Davis. Next. So when reports come in that unicorns are losing their magical powers, super spy unicorn Agent Cupcake and her 12-year-old human partner Miguel will have to put their spy skills to the test and solve one of the Mystical Beasts Bureau's toughest mysteries to save the unicorn population before it's too late. Next. This book is both educational and fun. It's going to spark kids' natural curiosity and creativity, as well as ignite an interest in science, technology, and problem solving. It has also been educator reviewed and approved. Next. One of the things that I think is really cool about Agent Cupcake is that there's these gold magnifying glasses that pop up throughout the book. You can see one on the top right-hand panel in this image here. So whenever readers see that gold magnifying glass, they'll know that there's more real-life information about the highlighted topic available at the back of the book for readers who want to better understand the spycraft and tools and techniques used in the book. Next. This one is great for fans of MacB Kids Spy series, Spy School, Harriet the Spy, and Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, and comes out in November. Next. I just really quickly wanted to touch on a couple of fan favorite series that are continuing this year. First is Quinelope and the Unicorn Utopia, which is the newest installment in the Laugh Out Loud series from H.F. Brownfield and Kayla Combs. And then we've got Cindy and Biscuit Volume 2, which sees our tenacious Cindy returning to fight more monsters that are lurking in her backyard. And we have Mika and the Chiller. So Mika makes a new friend in the refrigerator whose chilly personality she lets out to play, only to make a giant mess in her house. So lots of cute fun there. Next up, we are going to move into the adult section of our presentation, starting off with The Autumn Kingdom by Cullen Bunn and Christopher Mitten. Next. This one takes magic and monsters and meets them in the modern age as it follows two sisters, Summer and Winter, who are off for this like very nice idyllic family vacation in the woods. But it quickly turns into a very horrible nightmare as a horde of mythical monsters kidnap their parents, and the sisters are left to slice their way through the terrors in hopes of finding their parents before they disappear into the Autumn Kingdom forever. Next. And this has a little bit of like a Goonies meets Pan's Labyrinth feel to it. So you've got those younger, more naive protagonists, but you have like all of the very unsettling horrors of Pan's Labyrinth. Next. This is the first of an ongoing series, so you'll have a little bit of a cliffhanger at the end, but we're so excited for you to dive into the Autumn Kingdom when it releases in September. Next up, we have Calavera P.I. This one is from creator Marco Finnegan. Next. And it's a Mexican-American infused pulp noir. I saw somebody was asking for Mexican-American stories, and I think this one will hit that niche. So this follows a recently resurrected private eye who returns on Dia de los Muertos to help a former colleague and solve the mystery of his own murder in the process. Next. This is perfect for Hispanic Heritage Month. It dives into the Mexican-American cultural scene in the 1920s through 1930s LA, features a good bit of Spanish dialogue, and focuses on some lesser-known Mexican-American history that was happening during this time period, such as the Mexican repatriation program. Next. And I think that this quote from the creator is just really impactful about his reasons behind creating Calavera. So he said that he imagined a Calavera that would be the hero of the ignored and erased during a time where Chicanos were being deported en masse and blamed for the country's problems. He said he made Calavera to be the pulp hero that reinstates the Chicano presence in LA and hopefully honors the pulp noir heroes at the time in a fresh way. I think that really perfectly sums up this book. Next. So look for Calavera PI when it releases on September 9th. Next up today, we have The Summoning by debut creator Elise Castro. Next. This is the start of a magical new trilogy that follows Claire, who's a young witch, and her kitty familiar Edgar, as they seek to uncover the mysteries of her origins by honing her magical skills. And in this first book, Claire applies for a magical arts program at a very prestigious coven and has to complete 3 tests to prove her worth. Next. This is based on the hit animated short of the same name. It was originally created by Elise, the same creator as the book, and has over 6.3 million views on YouTube. It's currently being developed for TV by Fred Films, and that is the same company that does Adventure Time. So that sounds familiar, that's why. Next. So it is perfect for those adult fans of Adventure Time, Gravity Falls, Owl House, Amphibia, and all those kinds of things. And it's also appropriate for younger audiences too. And it comes out in October, so right ahead of spooky season. Next. Our next book today is Out of Alcatraz by Eisner-nominated creators Christopher Cantwell and Tyler Crook. Next. So if you've ever wondered if anyone actually escaped Alcatraz and lived to tell the tale, Cantwell and Crook are here to take one of the greatest and most infamous mysteries of the 20th century and reimagine a history in which these notorious fugitives embark on a desperate race for freedom through the California countryside, leaving wreckage in their wake. Next. This is a very high-stakes game of survival. We've got a desperate cast of characters making adrenaline-fueled choices. It's going to keep readers on the edge of their seat and starting to wonder if life on the run is a worse prison than Alcatraz ever was. Next. I wanted to take a moment and just appreciate this gorgeous watercolor that's throughout this book. Tyler Crook has really outdone himself. It's all hand-painted watercolors, and I think readers are really going to want to pore over these like retro-inspired pages. Next. This one is perfect for fans of The Human Target, 100 Bullets, and Did You Hear What Eddie Gain Done? And you can find it on sale in October. Next up today, we've got Heaven, West Virginia by Ravi Texiera. Next, this story follows a young man, Lamont, who his father has recently passed away, and he goes to live with his aunt in the small rural village of Heaven. But even in Heaven, there's shadows lurking in the woods, and he's going to have to face his grief and trauma over his complicated relationship with his deceased father before he can really experience the healing of the natural world. Next. There is a wonderful queer romance subplot in this book. While the crux of the story does revolve around Lamont's relationship with his father and his mental health, there's also this romantic element as he falls for a local goat herder who helps him see himself as he really is. Next. There's a lot of great natural symbolism and metaphor throughout this book. The figure of his father takes the shape of this wolf that stalks Lamont through the woods and haunts the corners of his cabin. And it's just very much a very layered story. So definitely take a look at this one when it releases in November. Next. Our next title today is Little Visitor and Other Abductions by Adam Schism. Next. This is 3 alien abduction sci-fi novellas presented together for the first time and tied together by one horrific theme. So you'll find all kinds of kind of unsettling stories, like this one where a girl stumbles into what she thinks is a New Year's Eve party, only to discover that it's an alien abduction party and her father is the unwitting victim. Next. There's also stories like a group of filmmakers doing like an E.T. ripoff, but E.T. has been replaced by a real alien who's slowly abducting all of the cast and crew. Next. This is great for fans of James Tynion's Blue Book, the X-Files, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and things like that. And a couple of the shorts that are presented here are award nominated. So Ignatz Award nominated and Bram Stoker Award nominated. And you're definitely going to want to check this one out when it releases in September. Next up, we've got Adventure Time. So we're really excited to share that Adventure Time is coming back with all new stories this fall. Next. So this is the first all-new comics in over 7 years. It's being helmed by Annie-nominated designer for TV and feature animation Nick Wynn, along with a rotating cast of creative talent, including Caroline Cash, Asia Simone, Jorge Mangalo, Brenda Hickey, and Derek Ballard. Next. We've already seen so much excitement for the return of Adventure Time, both from existing fans and the next generation of enthusiasts. For anybody who's never watched Adventure Time or read the existing comics, no knowledge of the show is required to just jump on into this fun. And I gotta say, I love the panel work that is happening in this new comic. Like this slide in particular shows off some of the fun that awaits. Next. So don't miss your chance to return to the land of Ooh when Adventure Time Best of Buds Volume 1 releases this November. Next. And if you do want to catch up on some of the pre-existing favorite adventures, we have the Adventure Time Oni Compact Comics Edition, which releases in September. It's 272 pages of Adventure Time fun in digest format. And we've also been releasing all of the original Adventure Time comics content chronologically, some very nice chunky compendiums. So the third volume of those releases this December. Next. And that's all we've got for you today. So as always, feel free to reach out to me at katie@onipress.com if you have any questions or want to see PDFs of any of these titles. Thank you. Back to you, Sarah.
Thank you so much, Katie. And a big thank you to all of today's presenters. Tomorrow, all attendees will receive an email containing links to today's slide presentation, title list, certificate of completion, and video recording. For more about Booklist webinars, be sure to visit www.booklistonline.com/webinars, where you can view archives of past webinars and register for upcoming ones like those you see here. You can also find out about the latest webinars on our social channels. Visit us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Booksite. Have you heard? The digital version of Booklist Reader, the monthly readers advisory magazine for the editors of Booklist, is now an ALA member benefit. Head over to our new and updated site to start. And if you're not already a Booklist subscriber, you can use your ALA membership ID to sign up. Thank you again for joining us for today's webinar. And one more huge thank you to our panelists and to our sponsors, Simon & Schuster, Viz Media, MadCave Studios, and Oni Press. This concludes today's webinar. See you next time.